You're very welcome to the first Event Master Gives to You webinar of 2025. It's great to see so many familiar names on the screen today as well. You'll notice just for some housekeeping at the start, if this is your first webinar with us, because it's a bigger group, your microphones and your video will be turned off by default. But because you're joining live, we'd love for you to ask any questions that you may have. So for this, you can use the Q&A option at the top of your screen or the chat. So between myself, Louise, and Catherine as well, we'll keep checking in with you guys as we go along. Any kind of questions in there, and we'll have a Q&A at the end as well. Great. So my name is Leanne. In case there's anyone on the call here that is brand new, and I'm sure a lot of you will know our fundraising and operations manager, Louise. And we're joined today by Catherine then as well. Catherine joined our team last year. We actually doubled in size last year. So there'll be lots more support and development for 2025. So we're really excited for you all to join us on the call. So just to jump right in, there are a few new people on the call. So in terms of Eventmaster as a whole, we have three main products, which are ticketing, which is how we started out. And the fundraising element was essentially born out of frustration of trying to integrate with other platforms and the flow. And essentially that fundraiser drop off of having that extra step of you're signing up to an event, and then there's that second ask of the fundraising that, people might leave it to a week before the event. So we basically wanted to provide more of a seamless flow for events and fundraising that's fully integrated. And our membership product then as well. So we're the membership partner for Athletics Ireland, Cycling Ireland, Rowing Ireland and Canoeing Ireland. For athletics and cycling as well, essentially all their events are done through the system and fundraising as well. So again, a lot of you will notice a lot of organic fundraising throughout the year from these maybe large national events that are running in cycling or even small local events. So essentially it's a fully integrated system, essentially, for yourselves and obviously a lot of other organizations too that work independently. So maybe some of you are just using fundraising, but you all have access to the events side of things as well, which we'll be touching on today. We have separate branding for the fundraising side of it. So a lot of you will recognize our Gift to You logo. So essentially, because it's such a new launch, essentially, the fundraising aspect only started back in 2021 and has obviously had a huge growth and massive impact for all you guys that we're thrilled about. So just in case anyone's wondering why there is two different names, essentially Gift to You is an Event Master brand as well. Just to recap, I think a common question or common comment we get from a lot of charities is that you all have so many different platforms that you do use on an ongoing basis. And essentially, the biggest kind of differentiator for us in terms of what makes us different for you is, aside from the massive event side of it, is essentially that you get your money in real time. So we are powered by Stripe. So you're not waiting until the end of a campaign or a fundraising page is closed for those funds to be transferred to you. So all donations can have an instant impact. There's no fee for charities to use the platform. And unlike other platforms, we actually don't take banking charges by default. So this again has a huge cost saving for a load of charities. Instead, the donor has the option to cover those banking fees for you. So essentially, it's a tiny bit for them on their donation, but a massive impact for you at the end of an event or at the end of a campaign. And with real-time funds comes real-time reporting. You'll never have to request a report from us. You can download your reports anytime, anywhere, and it's all real-time data as well. what we're going to cover today is just going through the basic flow of the fundraising event. So that kind of fundraiser experience from the sign up aspect down to getting their page. We're going to go through the Dublin Marathon 2025. I think there'll probably be a good few questions on the Dublin Marathon side of it. Again, for a lot of you, it's probably one of your, if not your biggest fundraising event of the year here in Ireland. And we'll probably stop for a Q&A after that bit as well, just to kind of cover any Dublin Marathon topics specifically. Last year, we launched sub-campaigns. So we're going to go through this functionality as well in more detail. Essentially, sub-campaigns are a great way for you to drive fundraisers for yourself in any event, whether if it's a Dublin Marathon or maybe there's something else that's more local to you that you'd like to get more fundraisers in, or just engage with fundraisers, in a more customized way. And we are thrilled as well with our new widget launch. So we're going to be taking you through our sign up widgets specifically in this webinar. We had a separate webinar last month on all the different widgets as well, but if you want to take a look back over it. But for this one, we thought it would be really specific and helpful to cover in terms of the Dublin Marathon or VHI or any other big events that you're looking to collect sign-ups for, in a more customized and personal way through your website. We also have the event calendar widget that will show you, again, really easy way just for fundraisers to easily see all the events that you're available for selection on the platform. And then as well, we can touch in on at the end for the Q&A if there's any, questions at all, on any of the different functionality on the system as well, if you have any questions. So essentially, obviously, as with the ticketing functionality on Eventmaster, there's over 1.5 million tickets sold on the platform each year, and hundreds of these events more and more every year. Organisers are looking to use the fundraising integration on the events. So again, it's free for them to use, and they have multiple options available to them. They can choose to partner with a specific charity, fundraise for multiple charities and have the money split automatically between them, or just have all charities on the platform available for selection. As charity partners yourselves on the platform, you have access to set up your own fundraising events. So naturally for you guys, that fundraise for a single charity option is, again, a really powerful tool. As well, or even any corporate partnerships or anything like that for different fundraising events. There's a lot of different options here to suit organisers' needs and to suit your own needs as well. When people are registering for the event, there's a few different options. So for charity events, so say if for a charity that is, you're setting up your own national or flagship event for that year, pages can be set up automatically as people register. Or for other events, so say for events like the Dublin Marathon or any other participation events like from organisers on the platform, they will give people the option. So it's either yes or no, and they have to select either one, or that could even be default to yes, and they can optionally turn it off if they don't want to as well. This is what the flow looks like. So be it on any of your own events for sign up for on the ticketing platform, or on any of the bigger national events on the platform as well. This example we have here is just from the Great Limerick Run, which was a huge, if there's any Midwest charities on the call here, there was over 250,000 raised through this event alone last year. So essentially, when they get to the bottom of the checkout, they would have filled in their name, their address, those kind of vital details for the organizer. And at the very end, they're asked if they'd like to fundraise. So again, it's a really simple integration here. So essentially, it makes people stop and think, if they'd like to do it, or if they'd like to fundraise while taking part. And realistically, all of us have a charity that's particularly close to us. So essentially, to find a reason not to fundraise. So again, it's been a really powerful kind of organic fundraising tool for a lot of charities, with having this available for them on loads of events nationally, and then a really simple and streamlined flow for your own fundraising events then as well. So once you check out, the person gets an email sent to them with their tickets and a link to their fundraising page. So again, what makes us different is that there's none of that two-step activation where they need to activate their page or they need to log in to start the registration process at all. They're basically going in and getting their ticket, checking out, and they can share their page instantly. So again, you're having that engagement with the fundraiser from the very start. So they're starting their fundraising journey as soon as they are signed up. They're not leaving it on the long finger. Maybe they'll fundraise closer to the event day. So you're on that journey with them from the whole way, from in the whole lead up to the event, to have that engagement with them. And again, you're not getting that drop off of any two-step activations or logins or anything like that. So again, really user-friendly process to get the most sign-ups and then to keep them going with you along the whole way as well in the lead up to the event. So again, we pride ourselves that this kind of simple, streamlined flow is why we're the partner for some of the biggest events in the country, which has been fantastic over the last number of years. And again, more and more charities using the platform as well for your own events. So no matter how big or small the events may be. Is there any questions on the event side of it before we move on to Dublin Marathon? I don't think there's any after coming in that I can see. But feel free as we go along just to pop anything in the chat box or the Q&A, and we can cover them there and then, and we'll be checking back in at the end as well. Louise, do you want to chat us through the Dublin Marathon side of things?
Yep. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of a history on the Dublin Marathon and how they operate. So they open up their event. So for 2025, they open up their event to past participants for 72 hours. And as people are registering, they're presented with the fundraising section, and there you'll receive organic fundraisers selecting your charity in that process. Next process after that then is the lottery. So they're through the lottery, again, when they're applying for the lottery place, they'll opt to fundraise and select their the charity they want to fundraise for. So you would have seen a lot of fundraisers again organically coming through when the places were given in that lottery process. So they were all organic fundraisers that came through the Irish Life Dublin Marathon event. Then as all places are sold out then at that point, the Irish Life Dublin Marathon organisers have charity places, and these charity places are administered by RealBuzz. So I'm sure there's a lot of you on the call that already are in the process of that. But for those that maybe don't have, haven't acquired any place from RealBuzz, just to give you kind of a heads up of the process on that. So as you purchase your places with RealBuzz, and then as you approve a runner, you approve the runner on the RealBuzz portal. When your runner is approved, they will then automatically get a fundraising page created. Or if you wish, you can create a fundraising page first, see that that fundraiser is serious about fundraising for you, and then you can accept them on the RealBuzz portal. The portal will know whether they have a page created already or not, so it won't create a second page. And once you're happy then with the amount that that runner has fundraised, you can then give them the access code, which is basically the carrot to enter the event. So once they enter that access code, then they've entered the event and they've finished the process. They're fundraising and they've registered. So it's a very streamlined process. And again, all fundraising is done on the Event Master platform. So you have an overall, you have your access, as Leanne said, to the real-time reporting. So all that is in the one place. Also, because we're the official ticketing platform for the Dublin Marathon, they are looking after their tickets and their fundraising through their Manage My Booking, so through the one account, through their Event Master account. they can administer both their tickets and access their tickets and access their fundraising page. So they're very familiar with the back end of Eventmaster. Is there any questions on any of that?
I think there's a one question came in from Lisa about promoting people to change their image on fundraising pages, which is actually one of the features of the sub campaigns that we can take you through as well, actually. But you also have your built-in newsletter tool in your charity portal as well in Eventmaster. So essentially in there you can just send once-off newsletters if you'd like to encourage people or send out any communications or links to your fundraisers as well.
I think you have a support document as well on that, Leanne, don't you, with regards
I
to
do, yeah,
editing their
I do.
fundraising page?
I can send that out as well on the with the recording to the webinar as well. So in case anyone's worried about remembering everything we're going to go through today, we'll be sending out the recording tomorrow as well, so you have access to it. And I can send you that guide, Lisa, on the two options. So we'll go through the sub campaign option now, and we'll go through I can send out the link to the newsletter communications. So for the sub campaign side of things, again, this came around last year. So again, a really great way. I'm sure a good few of you would have used this function last year as well to keep track of all your runners all in one place. So as you can imagine for like the Dublin Marathon specifically, which is probably the one it's most used on, you have thousands of fundraisers, hundreds of different charities available for selection in. However, your sub campaign is all about you and your fundraisers. So again, it looks very similar, but you can fully customize it so you have your own custom color, your custom banner image, and all these links here on the side are fully customized to you as well. So if when people go on to the Dublin Marathon campaign here, and they click on donate now or they click on start fundraising, the first thing they're going to be asked is select a charity. Whereas on your page, if they click on donate now or start fundraising, it's going to be already selected. So it's directly for your charity and they're not having that choice. So again, really handy way to streamline things and have these personal links that are specifically for you. Does a fundraiser have to raise money and hit a target before they can register for the marathon? Uh, this would usually be the case. A lot of charities would take this approach to it, where the fundraiser would have to hit a specific target in order to get the access code. I think a lot of charities had found that if they were giving out the access code first and allowing them to register for the event, there was no encouragement or incentive for them to do more fundraising essentially. I don't know, what are your thoughts, Louise? You probably had more meetings last year with charities for the Dublin Marathon specifically. Oh, you're on mute, sorry.
Sorry, say that to me again, Leanne.
In terms of the given the access code, charities setting targets before giving out the access codes, or should a charity give out the access code first and then ask the person to start fundraising?
Well, I think it's definitely a case of down to the charity when you want to release the access code, but that being the carrot, so I would highly recommend, them reaching a certain that you have targets that they reach before getting the access code. Because once they have that, then, their appetite to fundraise mightn't be the same as, when they don't have the code. So I think it's definitely, set your targets and then you can release that access code whenever you're happy with the amount that's fundraised.
Does the Dublin Marathon have a relay option? I think it does, Louise. Does it?
The Dublin Marathon, no. No, there's no
Okay,
relay.
sorry.
It's just a marathon.
the if you are Limerick-based, Clare specifically, the Great Limerick Run would actually be a big fundraising event that would have a relay, if that's something you're interested in specifically. Um, so just to show you guys here, so in terms of managing your sub-campaigns, again, I'm just showing you, we're using our test charity. So just to show you, we're just going to go through a user guide here because our test charity isn't available on public events. Um, but to get to any fundraising resources, actually, while you guys are here, you have a support option in your fundraising dashboard, your support section down here. So essentially, all webinar recordings, any new support resources are all added in here that you can search for through the search bar, and just keep up to date if there's anything new, or you're looking to do anything. There's all step-by-step guides there on the different functions. So for our sub campaign, again, just like you saw here, you have your main campaign and your customizable sub campaign with just your fundraisers um, visible on it as well. In the section actually as well, you do have your fundraiser of the week feature. So again, really handy if any of you are having kind of ongoing uh, engagement with the fundraisers in terms of reaching out to them and keeping up to date. Obviously, it'd be a great encouragement to have recognize your fundraiser of the week as well. That's automatically calculated for you. So in your sub campaign here. So what you will see on your back end with all the public events and campaigns uh, is the link to your sub campaign. So you have the first one here is the link to your sub campaign. So this will just open up your page here that has all your fundraisers on it and all your different links. And you also have the option to customize your sub campaigns. Those are your two main buttons here as well. A handy one just to touch on as well, and you'll notice on your sub campaigns, you have a button here for generic links. So if you're sending out any communications to your fundraisers, like the update your page or customize your page or share your fundraising page, the generic links can be really powerful to link in with any of your emails from the system as well, or if you're using MailChimp or any other newsletter tool in terms of engagement, and there's a full guide on that actually as well. So for customizing your sub campaign, there is essentially this is what your editor looks like. So you can name it whatever you'd like. Your custom color also will be pulled in by default. You'll notice as well your sub-campaign public name. So this basically customizes the link, the link on your sub-campaign page. So if you want to customize it to anything else, you can just type in your custom link ending to it, click check to make sure it's available and nobody else is using it, and you can use that to customize your link as well. Your color will be pulled in by default for your charity color. The target amount, so if you want to have a different target on your fundraising pages, you can fully customize that then as well. And then your page text, so you can customize the page text is a section up here. So, you'd want to personalize it. So, say the Irish Heart Foundation one example up here, it would be that, the impact people are making for research and different kind of initiatives by taking part in the event. And it's not just a blurb about the event specifically. It can be more about your charity and the impact people are having for you. Uh, the sub-campaign default page is that banner image we saw at the top there as well. You can customize the default fundraiser page image. So again, this is just the default image that's going to be on the fundraising page. You don't have to customize this. If you don't, it'll just default to the banner image on the sub campaign that you have instead. So again, more visual impact options there in terms of your banner and the fundraising image as well. They can be different. And you can also customize the default fundraiser page text. Again, if you leave this blank, it'll just be a default option there to say, thanks for visiting my fundraising page. Every little helps. Um, side of it as well. So again, you might want to customize this to show the impact they're having for your specific charity or initiatives if you want to personalize it and use your own kind of branding and wording in there then as well. Fundraisers as well have full access to customize their fundraising campaigns or their fundraising pages, sorry, on this as well. So again, I don't know about you, but I love when people add in their own images and personalize it and add in their own personal stories as well. So they have full access to log in and in the link to their fundraising page that they get, they'll automatically be encouraged to personalize that page as well and make it their own. You have the option to keep fundraising page open after the campaign end date. So by default on the platform, you'll notice on your public campaign settings, usually these events are open for about like 2 weeks to a month after the event date. Because it gives people a chance to get in the rest of their donations. And again, they might want to like look back on their page and, go back and through all their donors and access their page. Maybe their employer is planning to match any donations, so they're going to need access to the page to check, their total and everything as well. You also have the option to allow offline donations. A lot of charities will turn this off just so they can kind of keep more of a record in terms of reconciliation of the different funds. So the offline donations essentially would allow a person just to type in an amount and a name, and they'll automatically add the €100 or whatever it is to uh, their fundraising page total. So it can be handy if somebody sent in a check to yourselves or their employer has put in, another contribution as well that you'd like to have on the page. But again, this can just be managed on a once-off basis when people reach out to you rather than just enabling it all the time either. You have access now as well this year to have Google Analytics tracking on your sub campaigns as well. So again, it's really useful in terms of seeing the reach of your fundraisers and their donors and your overall sub campaign as well. Again, if anyone wants to have any kind of one-on-one or support with this side of it as well, that's no problem. But essentially, you just have to set up, or your marketing team can set up a Google Analytics property. So you can basically manage this all by yourself and just copy and paste in that tracking code into here. I think as well, what we saw last year, there is a lot of yourselves would use Facebook ads in terms to encourage the runner sign-ups on the event as well, and to increase that, runner acquisition. So the Facebook Pixel ID can be really powerful. For those of you who don't know what it is, essentially it's basically the it's just a piece of number you set up in Facebook. You can set up the pixel in your Facebook Business Manager and just copy and paste the code into here. So anyone who visits your sub-campaign, they're essentially going to be targeted with your Facebook ads. So essentially makes your ads more better targeted, essentially, and you can get those drop-offs then, in any kind of people who were going to run for you and they're still thinking about it. So again, it can really enhance the return on investment on your Facebook ads, and as well having this, added layer of accuracy in your advertising as well. Can we amend a fundraiser's page on their behalf? I have a runner who wants to amend his target and he asked me to. I don't think so. They have access to do it themselves, or else we can do it, Sinead, if you send it into fundraising@eventmaster.ie. I know not everyone would be, you know, we try and make it as user friendly as possible, but obviously we're always here to help anyone who's not feeling too tech savvy or they've forgotten a password to access to log in and edit their fundraising page. But it's definitely something we can look into as well with the team as well, if that's of interest to charities to have the option to do this too. Uh, for those of you as well, the last section here is your communication schedule. So essentially, through the platform, fundraisers will automatically get encouragement emails and milestone emails as well. For inactive and active fundraisers, so they're getting their own customized set of communications. For this, you can customize the flow. There's a full support guide as well in the support section on communication side of things. So you'll see the content as well as the schedule. So essentially, by default, the comms will be set to low, but you can turn these up to the max to level 1, in the middle at level 2, or you can turn them off completely if you decide you want to do all your own communications through it as well. But even just on the default ones, there's been a massive impact on the email uh, engagement would be quite big on these kind of campaigns.
Just to say on that, Leanne, as well, on those comms that go out, to go back to the question that Lisa had asked about, prompting people to change their image on the fundraising page, there is a button to edit their page on those comms. So they can click that and go in and edit the image and their story through that button as well. So just something to keep in mind.
Great. So the next thing we're going to go through is the sign up widget. And I think we saw last year a lot of charities would take deposits from runners. So what we've added this year actually is a way to take the sign up through your website uh, with the deposit, and the deposit is automatically added to that person's page as their first donation. So again, a great incentive and encouragement for runners as well. Like we find once people have that first donation in, they're more inclined to share their page as well and keep the momentum going with their supporters. So all your widgets are available from your dashboard. So there is your widget section just down near the bottom here. And for these sign up widgets, so we've done the hard kind of coding part for you. So you'll see the different widgets available here and their different functions as well as the links to the user guides for each of them. So what we're going to show you is the create a page widget. So this is essentially your start fundraising button. And you can select the campaign. So obviously this is our test one. We won't have the Dublin Marathon or anything, but say you can select the campaign. So I just selected VHI, for example. You have I'll just show you, you have your preview link of what this will look like. If anyone's totally not tech savvy and doesn't know what a widget is, essentially it's just a block that will sit into your website. And this is just an example of what the block looks like here. So it'll pull in any kind of questions you'd like to ask. Your contact consent is automatically built in. And essentially a person fills out this form on your website and they automatically have the link to their fundraising page in the VHI mini marathon, in the Dublin Marathon, whatever campaign you want to do the sign up on. And it's just as easy as copying and pasting these two pieces of code in here. Whether you manage your own website, you can pop it in yourself, or copy and paste them into a team to your web developers or your marketing department or whoever manages your website. So what we saw there is this is the example of the no deposit. So you might choose not to do a deposit and just do the runner sign up through your website without that. But if you do want to have a deposit, you'll notice a deposit page settings button up here at the very top. So if you click on this, you'll see we have a few draft ones there already. but it's just as easy as clicking add new, select the campaign you want it to be on. So the VHI one here, for example, and I want to do a €100 deposit just so I know that the runner is, um, gonna fundraise and it's really serious about taking part. So when I click on view here, then on my list of the different deposits on the different campaigns, you'll notice you have, again, just your code that you can copy and paste and send on to your marketing team or your website team, and you have your preview here. So again, it's the very same, except you're collecting the information and then they can do the deposit all in the same transaction, essentially. So say I fill out my details, I hit continue to pay €100, and I automatically get a link then to with the link to my fundraising page, and my €100 is on it instantly. So I imagine it'd be a huge time saving for yourselves and a load of admin in terms of you might be doing any kind of different kind of forms and making sure people's pages are created and making sure you have deposits. Again, this streamlines it all for you, and it's all already pulled into your real-time reports. Um, and the yeah. Is there any questions on the deposits or on the widget side of things? Don't think I saw any others come in. Is there anything you want to add on there, Louise? I think you probably saw a good bit last year and even this year as well with this particular widget.
Yeah, I think again, through the Dublin Marathon and kind of filtering out runners who are serious, that it's you can have it on your website whereby you have like those people that have their pages already or their place already in the marathon. And you can, have this widget where it doesn't collect €100, it just creates the fundraising page quite quickly. So you can have two different options. So one is they already have their place and they can fill in the widget there to create their page very easily. And two then would be down to the Real Buzz places. And if they want to sign up to get a charity place, again, you can use that widget with the deposit. They pay the deposit. The deposit is the first donation on their page. And you can see that they're serious about fundraising for you. And from that, then you can accept them on the Real Buzz portal, and the portal will know that they've already created that page with a deposit on it, so it won't create another page. So it's a very streamlined process on that side of things.
Yeah, you won't have any duplication there if you are doing the using the widget on your own site, like Louise said there.
Fundraising pages show in sterling. Depending on the charity's currency. Before we had the logic whereby it was the currency of the campaign, but that's been changed to the currency of the charity. So yeah.
So yeah, if there's any Northern Ireland based charities on the call, again, that'll be really beneficial for you on those kind of conversions, especially for like if it is the Dublin Marathon specifically, it's not taking a euro donation and then converting it to sterling or anything. So this is our other widget. Obviously, it's for our test charity here. It's the very same flow, just to show you where we were. So this is your campaign calendar widget in here, and it's the very same. You can have your code just to copy and paste that into your site as well if fundraisers are looking for different events to support you in. So the way this is formatted essentially is that you will, if any new fundraising events or campaigns are added, it's automatically going to be pulled in for you. And visitors to your site can easily search by name or dates or anything like that as well. And by default, so there'll be a lot of charities now as well that would have, their own campaigns or even those step challenges, squats challenges, everything. So the way it will appear is that your personalized campaigns will appear first and foremost. And then after that, it's the campaign that you have the most raised in, essentially. Uh, So yeah, in terms of Stripe, so like everything you would have seen there, there is no cost. There's no platform fee, no setup fee. None of you would have paid anything to on board to the platform as well. So again, it's any of the tools that you're interested in using, we'd love to work with you on them. I think a lot of the features have been developed over the last 3 years, like with charities and what's useful for you, what you need, what's going to make your life easier. And yeah, uh, hopefully, if there's anything else you'd like to see, definitely reach out to us then as well. Uh, is there any other questions that you guys would like to ask, even just in general about the platform? Uh, are you looking at any developments, processing gift aid, for UK based donations? We have gift aid functionality in there already. So for charities based in Northern Ireland or UK based charities, you can uh, turn on essentially gift aid for your charity. So for all donors, they're asked automatically if they'd like to gift aid their donation. But yeah, I can send you on a guide there, Jade, and even do a few screenshots in terms of what it
Mm.
looks like and the flow for charities there as well.
On the donor reports, Jane, you'll see the gift aid is a separate column on that on the donor report.
Is there anything you want to add in there, Catherine, as well?
Yeah, I suppose it's just to say that, we kind of pride ourselves on our support. So if there's ever any queries or questions, or even if you think it's a silly question, just pop over an email to fundraising@eventmaster.ie and we're always happy to help. If you want to book a demonstration as well, we really encourage just kind of hopping on a Teams call with new charities, or even if there's like a changeover of staff, or even if you just want a refresher. Again, you can just pop us an email at fundraising@eventmaster.ie and just book in a free demonstration, completely free, no charge to it. And we can just talk you through, share screens, show you through the platform, all the functionalities we have again, and you can ask any questions along the way. So just don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, as good as we hope the webinars are helpful. It's always, I think those one-on-one calls are kind of, they can be a lot more tailored in terms of what you're trying to do and your kind of events and, those kind of different things and different ideas. But yeah, no, that's all great. I'll just leave our details here, but we will send out the recording tomorrow for everyone, and I'll probably pop in a few useful user guides that we would have mentioned today on the call as well. Thanks so much for all your lovely feedback, guys. You're all great. So yeah, we're very excited for 2025, and we hope it'll be a great year for all of you as well.